All right, so today I'll be teaching you guys how I got today's entry. I trade off the daily time frame, 4 hour time frame, 1 hour sometimes as well, but I am a swing trader. So today I'll be teaching you guys how exactly I make trading so simple, trading off of the higher time frames. And also, with that being said, I am hosting a tour currently starting May 1st. I'll be going pretty much all around the world, teaching people how to change their mindset, how to become a better person, and how to just have the best psychology and best mindset possible when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur. With this being said, it is free. The venues are free. Everything is free. Keep your notifications on Instagram at Trades by Sai, and just watch out for the locations, watch out for the addresses, and just pull up. Bring your friends and family. And with this being said, I love you guys, and I wish y'all the best. All right, so this is going to be how I got the entry from today, sitting at this daily support level. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this alert, but let's go ahead and break it down. So first and foremost, I want to let you know that the daily time frame has this swing low. So as you can see here, there is a swing low here. What does that mean? Basically, that means that price came to a point where buyers stepped into the market and pushed price back up. So all this momentum came to this level and pushed all the way back up, which is very important because if we're trying to take sales, we want to bypass this, right? And any scenario, any time frame, we always, if we're going to take sales, we need it to bypass a swing low. So in order to take sales, it needs to break a swing low. So once again, entry for sales means it needs to, let's just do equals, needs to break a swing low, right? It needs to break a swing low in order for entries to happen for sales. So with all this being said, let's take a note of this. We're going to make this line. We're going to head and delete this because we already used it. So we're going to take this. Okay, I won't get rid of my alert. So let's just zoom in. Smooth. Okay, it just really don't want to get rid of that alert. So let's go here. There we go. And we're going to make this super bold so we can tell that this is the daily time frame. All right. So as you can already see, the wicks at this level are already wicking out, but let's go for more information by going down to a smaller time frame. So we're going from the daily time frame to the 4 hour time frame. Now, this is the time frame that I took an entry off of. Normally, whenever I'm using a daily, I'm going with the daily and 4 hour combo. So that's what we're going to call it, the daily and 4 hour combo. Now, the reason why I'm using the daily and the 4 hour combo is due to the fact that on the daily time frame, that's what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing the ICC on the daily. So I'm just going down to the 4 hour to see what else I can see, just to prepare for that daily break because everything is off of the daily. I see the indication, I see the correction, and I can see the daily pushing back. So I'm overall looking for an entry, looking to make sure everything aligns, right? Because remember, an indication means price is selling, or this means that price is breaking out of a level. So in this scenario, we're breaking for the sell side, right? A correction means that price is bullish. That means price was bullish at one point in time. Now, when the correction is over, remember the correction is over when price stops making that uptrend. So in this case, our correction will be bullish because we're looking for sales, right? So the correction will be bullish. For the continuation to start, it needs to stop being bullish or continue. Let's just put continue. But for a continuation, it has to stop being bullish for it to continue to go down furthermore. Because remember, we already have an indication that price is bearish. We just need price to get under here. We need price to get us here. We need to get to this daily level and break it, right? So what I did was I went to the 4 hour time frame. When I go to the 4 hour time frame, we're gonna look in. And if you want to see pretty much me calling out these live as it happens, you can go back into the Telegram, which is linked down below. It can show you pretty much me talking about pretty much step by step how everything planned out. But see, as you can see here, we
All
are
right.
sitting at those
So,
levels. See? So
ready
sitting
to
at those levels, so I'm not just saying whatever. But yeah, as I was seeing price, first and foremost, let's start off to where everything pretty much started. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of this. Boom, and delete that. We're going to keep this daily level. Matter of fact, we're going to lock it, right? I'm going to lock that. All right, cool. So we have that daily level here. But first and foremost, let's look at when the correction is over, right? When is the correction over? So as you can see here, price was going on an uptrend. We can see our highs, our swing lows, highs, swing lows, highs, swing lows, highs, and then we can see a little bit of complications happening here. As you can see here, the reason why I'm marking this wick right now is because I can see that this whole little area right here has been respected by sellers. So sellers are trying to push price down from here. Um, don't get too crazy picky on if you use the body candles or body closes because either one works, right? So even if I was to put this here, it still works because we still have this new high, boom, a new high in the market, but then we have our break. So either way it goes, they both work. If I was to use the candle or the wick, they would have both equaled out to the same thing, right? Anyways, first and foremost, we have our highest point, boom, our new high. Our new high is made, but off of that new high, we always need to make sure what is our level of support, right? So if we have a high, we have to find the previous low because that's what price pushed off of, right? This low right here created this high. So you always have to go back to the original creator of whatever happened. So just like now, right? You see how price sold off? You see how price sold off and it has this low? We have to go back to where that original creator was because nothing can be higher than the original creator or nothing can be lower than the original creator. In this scenario over here, right? In this scenario, nothing should be lower than the original creator, right? Nothing should be lower than the original creator. So the cause of this new high, the cause of this indication was from here. Buyers came in, stepped from here. So nothing should be lower than this. And if it is, that is a sign that's a sign that price is reversing, right? Price is reversing. So in this scenario, we can see that price ended up going lower. So we have a high, and now we ended up making a sell-off and making a new low. Now, the thing is about this new low is this becomes an indication because it broke out of this level right here. So this is where buyers were. An indication is a breakout under swing highs or swing lows. In this case, this is a swing low. So we have this right here. I'm just counting this whole thing as a swing low because they're all together at equal levels. But if you really want to be super, super picky about it, these are our swing lows, right? So we have our swing low that price just broke, which means that this is a bearish indication. Whether it wicked out or not, price still broke under that level and did not respect the buyers that were sitting here. It had a long period of time. If we go to the 1 hour, it had a long period of time to sit down there, right? So as you can see, price ended up breaking, sitting down there for an hour and two. And then the third hour, it finally came back. So for 2 hours, sellers had complete control under this market, right? So let's go back to the 4 hour. So with all that being said, we then, since we have the indication, right? We have the indication now, price broke out. This is a bearish indication. Price starts to correct as we've seen on the 1 hour time frame. So let's go back. As we've seen on the 1 hour time frame, price ended up going on an uptrend, just like the daily, right? Remember, just like the daily, price was going back up on the uptrend for its correction. So this correction is building high, higher low, high, higher low, high. And then this is when everything goes bad, right? Or technically good for us, but Remember, like I said earlier, price shouldn't go lower than the original creator, right? So look at this. Creator, let's say product, right? So this is our creator. So this is the creator. They make the product. Go back and create more, make a new product. Go back and create more, make a new product. So remember, price is not supposed to break where the original creation came from. In this case, price ended up breaking that level on the 1 hour time frame. Now, the 1 hour time frame is something that I use pretty well too as well. This is considered the higher time frame as well. Since we're using the daily 4 hour, we can then look at the 1 hour for some more information if we didn't have it, because the 4 hour time frame didn't give us as much information as the 1 hour. So whenever you don't have enough information, just scale down a couple more hours and see what you see. Normally you could do daily 4 hour and 1 hour, and that can be fine with you, right? So what I'm getting into is the 1 hour ended up breaking. The 1 hour ended up breaking its structure. So it went from going on this uptrend to breaking structure to a downtrend. But remember, ICC is with every single time frame. When it comes for entries, this will be your best way to get entries, is because you will be looking for ICC on pretty much all the time frames, right? So now we have a indication. Price ends up breaking, correcting, and then back under that daily level, we ended up making that push, which then happens to be in New York session. Just like I tell you guys all the time, trade in session, because that's when volume is going to be the max, right? Even over here, as you can see, this was a good session. Price had a lot of volume. Let me see if I can find another good session. This was yesterday's, that was like London session. There's some days where we have good sessions and then it just kind of bleeds over into the next. But New York is highly, highly reliable. With this being said, the 1 hour time frame made an indication, correct it. When I'm saying all this, do not take everything so literally, because people will only look for price when they do this or when it does that. Just all you have to do is decide what trend you're looking for, uptrend, downtrend, find the indication, find the correction. Soon as the correction is over, identify that price is going. So in this case, all we're doing is waiting for price to go back bearish. As price was on that correction, we're just waiting for some type of sign to show us that price was bearish. And price gave us a sign, right? It ended up breaking this swing low right here and causing a new low correction back under here. Remember, this level that we draw was that 4 hour time frame that price had that swing low. Anything under here, what did we say earlier, was a bearish indication. Price is back under there. The 1 hour is bearish. The 4 hour is bearish, right? So this all just builds up to the fact that the 1 hour is bearish, the 4 hour is bearish. But remember, our whole plan was to see the daily time frame go back bearish, right? So now we're working towards our goal, right? The 4 hour is bearish. We take sales that day. I remember we took sales this day based off the 4 hour. That's cool because we're looking for sales, remember? So with that being said, price ends up selling off and then ended up targeting this level. So remember, this creation caused this whole movement here. This was the creation that caused this, right? So now that we're selling, that's the last creation made. So price is trying to get towards that level, right? Price is trying to take out that creation is basically what is going on. Price is always trying to take out new lows, new highs. In this case, it's trying to take out an old low, right? Trying to take out something that was once a creator and push price up. The cause of this, right? It's trying to take out the cause of it. So in this scenario, price ends up selling down to this level, ends up rejecting because down here, buyers are really, really strong. As we see here, it happened. But this time, sellers are fighting back. So sellers are pushing from under here. So that's why it didn't go all the way back up here, because sellers are now trying to put up a fight since we already have all this bearish momentum right here, right? All this bearish momentum, if price wanted to buy, then none of this momentum would happen, and bears would literally just let the bulls push all the way up, but it didn't. Bears said they're going to fight, sellers said they're going to fight, so they fought, right? So then buyers only pushed him up for so high. But remember, this is still technically a low. You can forget about all this. I think people get confused too as well. It's about, yes, we can look at the past, but focus on what's going on at the current time, right? If we're not looking at anything over here, we can see that price is just building a downtrend. New low, new high, new low, new high. So even when I'm saying this, didn't even have to you didn't even have to look over there, right? You could have just been looking at this. Okay, price pulled back. I meant price made a new low, pulled back. Price started going back on a downtrend again. I'm pretty sure on the 15, it started building a downtrend. So if we go here and we go look, as you can see, price sold off, came up to this level, started building the downtrend. You can literally see the lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You can see the downtrend on the 15-minute. Like, just showing you that every time frame align, like making everything align together, you'll start to see that everything just matches, and that's exactly when you're supposed to be looking at the market, right? So with all that being said, price never came back up. So let's go ahead and delete all this, right? Here, lower high or high, highest point, lower high, right? Lower high again. You can see price comes down, tries to come back up, fails, sold off heavy. Another lower high, right? Price tries to come up, fails. Another lower high again, right? Price tries to come up, retest, fails. Another lower high again, right? Price tries to come up, retest, fails. Another lower high again, right? There's nothing in here telling you that price wants to go higher. Why? Why is that? Because when it comes to trading the higher time frame, price is going to respect structure no matter what. If price truly wanted to go on an uptrend, it would have broke to the upside, created an indication, and started to build higher highs and higher lows. But in this case, it's telling us we don't want to go higher. We're looking to get lower. The only thing it needed was some volume. Now, let's go back to that daily time frame. Right? Since we have all that, we're going to mark this up. Boom. Now, this is the level that we know buyers are sitting at pretty strongly, right? So this daily time frame has a lot of buyers sitting at this level. What will make me take a sell? Because I took a sell before price broke below this level. But what made me take this sell? This is pretty simple to answer. We have one lower high, two lower highs, three lower highs, four, five, and six lower highs in the market before price started to sell off. To me, before New York session starts, I feel like I think it was London session. Sorry, my apologies. But before the London session starts, I can see that price has all these lower highs, and I know volume is coming in. Even entering here could have been perfect too as well, but I already have lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. There's everything in me that I'm pretty sure that price is building up to break down to the downside, regardless if there was a daily time frame here or not, right? Regardless of this, if there was no daily time frame here and you just seen this, you would think price is going down too. There's nothing showing you that price is looking to head back up at all. So what I did was I took a short right around here, when price rejected to the upside. I put my stop loss above the highs. So if I think this is a lower high, right? If I think this is a lower high, then my creator is here, lower high. So that means my previous lower high is here, which is where my stop loss needs to go. Your stop loss, whenever you're selling, needs to go above the previous lower high. And then once again, I know what I was looking for on the daily time frame. So now I'm overall targeting down to this level, which is a 1 to 7, right? And then from here, as a swing trader that I am, I just sit back and wait. There's nothing else I can do from here, and there's nothing else that is telling me that price is looking to buy until that time being, which that will be back at break even almost. 4,692. Until then, price can continue to sell off, right? But even then, if we go back to the daily time frame has already shown us where the indication was going to, where all this momentum was going to. So all I'm doing is repeating that same momentum back down to here. I'm not doing any rocket science at all. All I'm doing is looking at, hey, when price was under here, it went to here. That this is bearish, this is selling off. Let me make sure all this is selling off, and I'm gonna target down here. So with that being said, I hope you guys like today's breakdown. Um, but yeah, that is pretty much how I traded today, these sales. And yeah,